Hey everybody, I was on Judy's show tonight and I didn't get a chance to share this information I have on Homestead Correctional Facility for Women, which is where Donna lives now. And so I just thought I'd make a quick video and share what I learned. If you're like me with the Schadenfreude, whatever, you were hoping she'd go to Lowell, which is the worst of the worst, but she didn't go there. But there is a silver lining to this cloud because she's in Homestead. So now guess who can go into Lowell? Wendy. So that'll make me really really happy. I've really done a 180 in this case on my thinking about prison conditions, because as I was growing up, I had a family member who was in prison for the majority of his adult life. So I really came from the aspect, hearing from him about the abuse, things that were going on. I really came from the aspect of thinking prison systems should be an advocate for having more humane conditions in prisons. And now, when you see the horrible things Donna's done and you get wrapped up in this whole Adelson case for how many years now? Many years, since I think 2016. Everybody kind of feels this way. Donna just doesn't deserve it. She's been so horrible, and here I am now disappointed. She doesn't get sent to the worst prison, but maybe we'll get lucky and Wendy will go there. All right, let's talk about Homestead. Homestead is one of the 75% of prisons in Florida that does not have air conditioning. They do have some units air conditioned that they reserve for vulnerable inmates. And by vulnerable, they mean pregnant, mentally ill, and elderly. So, hate to say it, but I'll bet you anything Donna Sue is going to get, one of those from all her griping. Okay, the problems in prisons when they don't have air conditioning, over the years, since they built these really old buildings, there's been global warming throughout the years. So now it's a lot hotter than it used to be, and especially in the summer. And inmates will have heat stroke. Like they'll have a lot of, it affects their cognition. It starts fights. People are irritable. There are problems connected to not having AC in the Florida summers. Oh, here's another one. The windows, I'm sure they're barred windows. Windows will be open all over in the dorms to allow for some fresh air. Also lets in the roaches and mosquitoes and rats. And if anybody hasn't been to Florida, I want to tell you, when you see a roach, it's not a little squirrely guy. Florida has roaches on steroids. They're the most hideous things I've ever seen in my life. They're maybe 2 inches long or more. Some of them have wings. Maybe they all do. They're just disgusting. She's going to be facing that. Okay. There's inadequate ventilation in this prison. There's staff mistreatment on record. They have an inadequate infrastructure. I think it's just so old, and what's happening is the ceilings are leaking here and there. So there's a lot of leaking going on. They find pests routinely. They find pests in the food. So let's see. What was I can't find where I wrote it. Oh yeah, moldy bread, containers of food covered by rodent droppings, bags of cereal that have insects in them, water leaks from the ceiling. I already said that. Federal prisons have air conditioning. They're required to, but state prisons are not. So let's see. There was there've been a couple controversies with Homestead in history. During the years of COVID, I'm sure that was a problem in all prisons. But what they found here is the nurses were spreading it because they would work with COVID patients and then they would go into the regular population, and they felt like that was what was spreading it out. Another controversy was, I can't remember how many years ago, 3 to 5, is that the Homestead Correctional Facility for Women is associated with also a unit that was for children who were like illegal migrants or whatever, children who were going to be maybe waiting to be deported, but they're putting children here. And there was a lot of abuse going on in that facility, and that made headlines. Okay. Well, I think it was really overcrowded too. They said they had to go from 2,500 kids to 600, so they were pretty badly overcrowded. Charlie's prison is too, just for, by the way. Okay, let's see. I think I got this all covered. Yeah, let's talk about Commissary, okay? In this prison, in Commissary, the typical expense is between $50 and $300 a month, depending on their needs and, what they want. Yeah, I don't get what that even means. Okay. And Commissary is way overpriced for the prison to make a profit by it. Like one example said that ramen noodles you can get on the outside for 30 cents. In the Homestead prison, they're $1.06. And ramen noodles are desirable in prison, and they use it as currency. Back in the day when prisoners were allowed to smoke, cigarettes were like the currency, but they're not allowed to smoke now unless, see, what did I read? Inmates on death row can use smokeless tobacco, and inmates who are outside on a work detail somewhere, they can smoke. Otherwise, there's no smoking. Let's see. Okay, the Homestead Prison offers a long list of activities for their inmates, and I wrote down a few. Donna Sue could get into beekeeping. I would really like to see her go to this next one. It's anger management. There's something called the Gavel Club. I don't know what that is. A gavel is like a judge, right? Maybe she could join that club and just bitch about the Honorable Stephen Everett. I don't know. They have the New Horizons Service Dog Program. Women with Dignity. Wow, I wonder if she joins that, if she could actually learn some dignity, have some dignity. I doubt it. Okay. Somewhere I read they're only allowed 2 phone calls a week. I think that's, I don't know, I couldn't find it in another source to verify it, but wow, Donna, she's been on the phone, I don't know what, like 80 hours a week? 80 hours, no, yeah, 80 hours a week, I think, while she was in Leon County Jail, or maybe more than that. 2 calls a week. And they cannot receive incoming calls at all. Visiting days are Saturday 9 to 3 and Sunday 9 to 3. So Harvey could, I guess, come down to visit her and get a room, spend the night, come back the next day. But I looked it up, and from, I'm not sure even where he lives right now, so I just used the icon. So from the icon to the Homestead Prison, it's a 2-hour and 20-minute drive. And he's 80, like 1 or 2 now, and he's only going to keep getting older. And Wendy moved away. She's not there helping him. So I don't know. That's going to be, I'm sure that's going to be hard for him to, I'll admit it, I'm disappointed she's down there close to him. I'd rather see her up in Montana or somewhere where she isn't going to get visitors, just because she's such a hateful person. It's so hard. I try in my life to see things like through the eyes of a nurse, where someone else might say, this guy's a real, I'll say it in Spanish, pendejo. A nurse might say, what's going on with him? Does he have mental illness? Or you look at it a little bit more sympathetic or more compassionately, right? I have a hard time feeling any compassion for the Adelsons. I just feel disgust. And you guys know I go back to, I had worked for Harvey, and I saw a good side of Harvey. He was a good boss. There were things about him I liked. So at this, throughout this case, I've kind of been, I don't know even the word for it, not completely against him maybe. And after I heard him speak at Donna's sentencing hearing, boy, I was mad. I was hopping mad. I was so angry. I just, he's on my bad list now completely. I just hope, I hope they go after him too now. I really thought his own hell prison was going to be having to live without any family members, live alone. But now he's got Donna Sue 2 hours away, and although she can only call him twice a week. Okay, I think that maybe covers it. Beekeeping. Can you imagine her going into beekeeping? Oh, let this bee loose! I want to talk to the manager. Okay, yeah, I talked to you about their moldy bread, their everything. Hey, there's this lady who makes shorts and a lot of shorts, and her name is True Crime in a Minute, but I think she abbreviates it to True Crime in a Min. Anyway, I mentioned her once before because she has some really funny, like, taunting videos. Like, she'll pop a can of soda to some of you, Dr. Pepper, and take a swig of it to say, I can have a Dr. Pepper, and Donna can't. Or, like, just kind of cracks me up. So anyway, yeah, I saw her tonight in Judy's chat room, and she said something, nice to me, and I was like, wow, I didn't know she even knew who I was. So anyway, go check her out. I like her shorts and True Crime in a Minute. Thank you. You're the one. You're the person. You're the way I found out Donna was in Homestead. I went to YouTube. I go every day. I either Google it or go to YouTube looking for where Donna is. And I went to YouTube, and there was her short saying Donna Sue's in Homestead, and she was going over everything, the beekeeping, and she gave it like a lot. It wasn't really informative short, and thank you, because that's how I found out. And then I texted Judy and told her, and Judy hadn't known either, so you let her know too, so that's great. We appreciate it. Apparently, Judy and probably a lot of people, not me, but are on a list, a service you sign up for that will notify you when any inmate gets moved, and it always works. And this time they didn't notify anyone. True Crime in a Minute only found out because she went to the website. The website may be the inmate locator. I'm not sure which website, but it reported that she was there. That's how she found out. And so Judy too told me she didn't know why she hadn't been notified. Well, I was telling her, I think Donna is so hated, they wanted to keep that under the radar. Either that, I told her, or maybe they're afraid Harvey was going to meet the transport on the way and bust her out. Like, not really. I didn't really think that, but okay, that's it. I am going to wrap this up now, and I might have some new subscribers. I was giving out my channel name on Judy's show tonight, and I am going to make a couple more episodes, and I decided I'm going to start speaking about some subjects that may seem controversial, but I'm going to do it for reasons I'll get into later. So I am going to have I'm going to make a video about racism, and I'm going to post that, and then I'm going to make another video, and I'm going to talk about assault, essay to be specific. But I'm going to mislabel that one on purpose because I don't want people doing a search on YouTube and pulling up that subject and finding me easily. I just want y'all who know me to have access to what I have to say. And I know there was a third one, and I can't remember what it was. But it'll come to me later. Anyway, I try to do Adelson content, but after a while, they're like more and more content creators, and they have really good content. Like, well, she's maybe not that new, but Tanika. I'm thinking of Tanika's 2 Cents, and Kathy of Lies and Rumors and Innuendos. She's not real new either, but I'm just saying, as this case has gone along, more and more people have gotten on board that are way better than I am. So if I don't have a lot to share, that's why my channel's a little bit more inactive. But I did decide I'm going to talk about a couple of issues that are on my mind, and you're welcome to come. So everybody take care, and I will see you when I get this other video done, which won't be today, maybe tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.